Hello, I'm Steve and I'm a Hill member here at Buxton MR Rescue Team, and I thought today I'd talk you through one of our response bags. This is bag 2. It's the second bag come out of the vehicle and it's the second bag to go onto the hill. And as you can see, it contains oxygen. Let's have a look what else is in here. Compulsory tags. These are so we know it's hill fit. It's got everything in it that we should have in it. So what do we have? It's quite a small bag. I don't like carrying this one. It's small, it doesn't look impressive, but it's still heavy. It's approaching 10 kilos. It's not a good bag to be seen if the press happened to be around, but there you go. We have one oxygen bottle. Supposed to be careful with these. Pressurised gas, not supposed to throw them around. Certainly don't want to be dropping them on myself or anybody else. Certainly don't want to be bursting one, letting all the oxygen out. It's probably not good. 2 oxygen, plenty of oxygen for the casualty. I'll talk a little bit later about why we might want to give a casualty oxygen. And in the top here, all the gubbins that we should need to provide a casualty with oxygen. So 2 oxygen bottles and then piping, for want of another word. Okay, so the bottles, as I say, have to be very careful we don't drop them. Gas under pressure. We don't need to fuss about this side. This is the inlet. That's what the hospital or the manufacturer uses to replenish the oxygen. Valve on top. And important to us, there's a gauge on the side that enables us to check that there's enough oxygen for what we might use. We're dead lucky in that if we empty one of these, generally speaking, the ambulance service is glad for us to swap one of these with one of theirs, and we replenish them that way. Quick look at the gauge to make sure we've got enough and decide what we're going to use it for. 9 times out of 10, we use it with a non-rebreathing mask. Just like you've seen in hospital, I would imagine, if you've ever had oxygen in hospital, or if you've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to get oxygen from us somewhere on the hill. Very simple, single use plastic pipe. That simply goes on there, and then that goes over the nose and mouth of the casualty. What we do need to do though is we need to remember that when we turn this on, we have to turn this pretty full on to start with. We can hear this, it's quite noisy. What we need to do is we need to ensure that this bag underneath fills, and it's the oxygen from this bag that the casualty actually breathes in when we put oxygen on them. As well as giving casualties supplementary oxygen that they might need, we also have a means of delivering a couple of drugs, in particular asthma drugs, or if someone's having a restricted airway due to anaphylaxis and the like, and we do that through means of a nebulizer. So out of interest, don't particularly want to use one of our valuable drugs, so I thought we'd have a word from one of our sponsors. We'll use some of Buxton's finest to demonstrate how the nebulizer works. What we have is we have a little receptacle here for the drug, which in our cases could be salbutamol, very similar to the salbutamol that a lot of people take in an inhaler. But this is a much better, much more efficient way of getting it into a person's lungs. It's much finer, and as you can see, it will come with a dose of oxygen, which is kind of a handy thing to have. And one of the important things to remember here is we don't turn this on full. If we turn this on full, all the liquid gets sprayed out and actually the casualty doesn't get any of it. So what we have to do is we turn that to about there, and as you can see, the drug, which would be in here, is now being nebulized. Very, very fine particles, perfect for somebody who's maybe having an asthma attack, or if someone's experienced anaphylaxis or something like that on the hill. So who gets oxygen on the hill? All manner of people that we meet might require supplementary oxygen, and of course we know in these COVID times that extra oxygen is good for a whole lot of things. So as well as the non-rebreathing mask and the nebulizer, we also have another important piece of kit that we can use with the oxygen, but it's not kept in this bag, it's kept in bag 1. So this might be a good opportunity to go back and look at Kerry's video on bag 1. In bag 1, we will have one of these. You might have seen something like this before. This is a bag valve mask, which we could use to help somebody who's not breathing for themselves. This bag now comes with a face shield that seals around the mouth and the nose, and now we can very gently actually help the casualty breathe for a casualty who's struggling to breathe, either breathing too quickly, too slowly, or actually not breathing at all. And this time, rather than you might have seen regular mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, with this the casualty gets full oxygen, which of course is much better for them. If you like this video, hit subscribe, come back and watch some more. Don't forget to tell your mates. Thank you, bye bye.